Okay, I'm going to show you a few ways to nurture the creativity of your children concerning sewing. Here I have our 5-year-old daughter, and many of you may have seen these little shapes and things with the holes for easy sewing, and these were given to us, so I'm going to let Madeline go ahead. This is a good way if you're not comfortable with your children using the needle and thread just yet. We did start our daughters very young, even on the machine, exploring the machine very young. And so, but to start off, this is a good way. So you have shoestring, and Madeline, go ahead and choose the shape. Now for those who don't have these shapes, I want to show you a creative alternative. And if you have some cardstock, or I have here some manila folders, or even we like to reuse things, if you had one of these, sturdy mail envelopes that's like cardstock, you can open it up and use this side and go ahead and trace a shape, which I've already done, but you can trace the shape that you desire, cut it out, and then here you'll see I used a hole punch, my little heart, and hole punch this. If you don't have the single hole punch, you can go ahead and use, this 3-hole punch. And you can do the same idea, take an old string from a shoe or whatever and let them do the same. And here she is practicing her sewing, and generally I would guide her with it to make sure that she knows she goes from front to back. Unless you're teaching them how to, loop around. There are different types of stitches you can teach them. But another idea, I cut out the shape of her name, Madeline, and you can do the same thing. Again, if you don't have a single hole punch, you can just kind of punch around the end, especially since they're learning, their letters. You can just do some block style print, letters, numbers, and you see that's exciting, huh? Doing an M. You want to do that one? Okay, and so I'm just going around every so often. This one's not perfect. I'm rushing a little bit, but you can just use some heavy paper and allow them to practice sewing as well. And that's, the little M, block style. Okay, here you go. Here's your M. I did try with some cardboard from a box. This was a little more difficult for me. If it's not as thick, you may have success with that also. So that's one idea. Also, we're big on, reusing like old clothing and whatnot. So I tend to give the girls sometimes, if there's some material we can't use, say an old dress that maybe got a stain on it, or it's not fitting right, or just whatever the situation, then I will give them that fabric. And the girls really enjoy making baby clothes or doll clothes, and I really nurture that. They have their sketchbooks where they sketch, some modest designs, and then it's really neat to see their creativity with the patterns and things they blend together in dresses. And we had another video, creative, modest sleepwear, and again, that actually was my daughter, our oldest daughter, Mariah. That was her concept. So I really encourage you, you don't necessarily have to go out and buy fabric if you don't have your budget. Just make do with what you have. And we're fortunate, our thrift store sells all their clothing for 50 cents. So say a blouse like this, which has a nice type of material, would be 50 cents there. I didn't get this from there, but you can buy a garment, catch your vision, and reuse that and make, like we were doing the headbands, you can make a little skirt, you can make a jumper, whatever creative ideas you get. So that's another idea. And then the final idea I was going to show you is this is my sewing box I've had for like 20 years, and it was an old caboodle or makeup kit. And what I did was, at that time, I really was into sunflowers, and I made a glue and water mixture, and I cut out fabric and glued it all around. But I've had this kit for a while, and I put my, thread and different accessories, whatever notions can go down here, scissors, thread, needles. And so this is my sewing box. And then for the girls, I was able to find this one on sale for one of my daughters. And so she uses it and she keeps it organized so they have their own, you know, way of being responsible. And then our other daughter, her aunt gave her a old like fishing box that has several trays, and that's her sewing box. But if you don't have any of these, you can do something as simple as a basket and give them the basics. There are a lot of, even at the dollar store, you can get even thread and needles and little scissor sets and different you know, craft supplies there. And so you can start with the basics and help them to be responsible with a small amount first. If you don't have one of these, you can even use like a Tupperware container to keep everything in. Something like this. This is kind of a large size. Anyway, you can give them their supplies in here. Say, give them some scissors. You can put even like little plastic Ziploc bags to keep little buttons together. Give them some thread. You know, let them have their own little sewing kit. And then you can get really fun and let them design it. You know, put stickers or get your permanent pen and allow them to draw designs. You maybe could hot glue if you don't have the really hot glue gun that would melt the plastic. You can hot glue the, you know, little beads or whatever. They have those glue guns that don't have the high heat. You know, get a low heat glue gun. So just make it fun and exciting, and then allow their creativity to blossom. This is very important to us because that's one way that we find out, you know, what direction, what they're passionate about, what direction they're heading in. And so in Madeline, show us real quick. She had started this M here, like I showed you earlier. So those are 3 areas. Give them the little shapes in the shoestring. Give them, you know, unused clothing or, you know, fabric to experiment with, and a sketch pad so they can sketch designs. And then give them their own sewing containers. You don't have to go out and buy a brand new sewing container. You can get very creative. So that's it. You want to tell them bye-bye? Shalom? Say shalom.
Shalom. Hi, my name is Wyatt, and here are my 3 beautiful models. And today I'm going to show you how to make headbands. Also, I'm going to show you some other things I did. Here's a Rosetta one. Here's a little book I made. My mom tied, and you cut a piece of fabric into a circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, it just has to be sort of a circle. But don't pull through until like almost half of your needle is full with fabric. Here, just kind of like you're scrunching it out. You're just going to keep on sewing back and forth until you get all the way around. You can pull it through whenever you want, but anyway, or you can do it the other way. So that all the sides bunch up together, like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on a bead. Okay, so we're done with the headband. I put on the beads and stuff, and now I'm pink. Wonderful.